Hi everybody, welcome to my channel here today. I'm super excited. Why am I so excited every time I do a fun video here? Because we are back again with the actors of the week. It has been a while since I've actually done one, so we are back doing it again. So I'm excited. So I'm actually your host here today, but real reviews. And honestly, this actor I picked was Tom Holland. As you know, Spider-Man, other films he has done. I have over 10 movies of him right here in my hands. Super excited to get into this. Like, wow, great films. So we're gonna talk about it, but let me know in the comment section below, guys. What is your favorite Tom Holland movie? Pick two of them. I want to know which one is your favorite. Stay tuned by the end of this video of my two favorite movies with him. So let's do this. So the first movie up was Avengers Endgame. Dun 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 dun. As we know, for one thing, I'm a big fan for this movie because I watch this movie all the time since I'm currently on the MCU Infinity Saga series right now. I'm still in Phase 1 right now, but still, it's a fun movie to watch. But Endgame is the go-to fun film. As we know, Tom Holland came back from the blimp in this movie to see how he was when he met Tony Stark again in this movie. Like it did have some moments with him in this movie with Tony Stark, as we know, Iron Man. Since the death of him, and this movie was so sad to see like how Peter Parker wanted to be a better person like Tony Stark was, and it did had a good story, good ending for this whole film, but it keeps going on into the other Marvel movies. But still, we're looking forward for another Spider-Man movie coming out someday in maybe next year or in 2 years for Spider-Man 4. So we don't even know what's going to happen for Spider-Man. So let's keep going here and let's talk about the next movie here, Doolittle. The remake. As we know, Robert Downey Jr. was mostly the star in this movie, but Tom Holland was one of the characters in this movie. I think he was voicing one of the animals, but still, last time I saw this movie was in theaters in 2020 before the pandemic happened. Like, wow, 5 years has gone by so quickly. Like, wow, but still, it's been a while since I saw Doolittle, but I may have to check this one out again soon. So, yeah, but still, it's a fun movie. But still, we can continue on the next movie here with him, with Tom Holland. He was introduced as Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War. As we know, for one thing, Tony Stark was recruiting heroes, and he went to Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. So this was actually the whole debut of Phase 3 when Tony Stark and Steve Rogers recruiting heroes to be on their own side. But so I love how they introduced Peter Parker in this movie. It was so cool. We don't even know what happened to Uncle Ben, but still, this movie was good. I love how they kicked this off in Phase 3. And the next movie up, it is a Disney Pixar movie, and he was voicing as the brother as White Hill. And also, this was actually a great, decent film. So this before the pandemic happened, before it all started back in 2020, 5 years, like wow. But even though I did love the story overall with the brothers, and even though the big brothers actually voicing as Chris Pratt, so and honestly, this is my go-to for Disney Pixar movie. It's a fun brotherly bond movie, looking for their father, and it's such a great story, guys. Like, after the will recommend everyone to check this movie out. And we are back again in Spider-Man Far From Home, another Spider-Man movie, guys. And yes, this is actually another great story to talk about because I'm ways away to get into this whole films, but we have a lot of other actors in this one. We have Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I love him, but I wish he could come back in the future projects in Spider-Man. Nick Fury, Zendaya, like wow. And now we continue on into the next one. Another animated movie, by the way. Like, he has done a lot of voice acting. He was in The Spies in Disguise, playing as the kid right here. You can see him on the cover. And also, this was actually last time I saw this movie was maybe a few years ago. Saw it with my nephews, and we all enjoyed this movie. A fun, action-packed animated film. Will Smith was playing as the main character, right back here, but still, it wasn't like an interesting movie to watch. I may have to revisit most of these films again, so I can refresh my brain. And the next one up, we have mostly Marvel movies here, but the next one up it is Spider-Man: Homecoming, the first movie with Spider-Man with Tom Holland. Like I love how they did with this whole film with his mentor Iron Man. Like I'm a big fan for Iron Man, one of my other favorite heroes. That'd be another fun video here to talk about what is my favorite superheroes. But even though Homecoming is a great film, I love how they did to bring in Peter Parker as his own standalone movie in Spider-Man and Phase 3. And then we have Avengers Infinity War. Da, 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 da. I love superhero movies. It's so fun to watch. Infinity War was another story to continue on in Spider-Man. Actually, I did the whole Spider-Man Universal movies I did last year, so you guys can check that one out too. So, um, this was actually a fun movie. As you know, all the heroes were separated since Civil War, but still they teamed up take down Thanos, but Thanos had the upper hand, has all the stones. And even though this was actually a great film, like don't get me wrong, I love Infinity War, but I do love Endgame. So still, this was actually a great film to watch. Now, the last two movies here. So which one should I pick? Spider-Man: No Way Home. This one came out in 2021 and during December time, and I saw this with my cousin. And actually, this was right for one of my favorite movies of that year. Like, I love how they did with the story, bringing into Doctor Strange in, seeing how they did with the story arc, and with this whole film, we have all the other Spider-Mans. Andrew Garfield from the Amazing Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire from the original ones. Great, a lot of great moments in this movie because we have all the other villains from their universe, like the Lizard, um, Dr. Octavius, the Green Goblin, and other great villains. They all teamed up taking on three Spider-Mans. And also, I love how they did with the movie. And even though this is in 4K, man, that is wicked. And so the last movie here, he was playing as Nathan Drake, one of my favorite video games to play, Uncharted. And yes, this movie came out, I think it was in 2022, and this is actually one of my other favorite games to play. And also, it came out with a movie. Like, wow! Like Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan and Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Like, I think they're bringing in the younger versions of the characters to bring in the whole story. Like, 2022, will they do a second movie? That could be really cool. Like, so with all of these films, between my two favorite movies with Tom Holland, I'm thinking it has to be, I'm thinking here. One of them is actually Onward, again, because for one thing, it's a fun movie to watch. It's a good animated film. So, yeah. The other movie that I did pick out, one of my other favorite ones, it would be actually one of the Spider-Man films, No Way Home. These are my top two favorite movies with him in it. But thank you all for coming into Bud's video reviews, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay tuned for this week for the next Marvel movie. Bye, everybody.